So, as many of you have seen, we have had the Plymouth into some harder rocks, more technical stuff over this past weekend. We had a very common issue running at slow speeds, working the motor pretty good, creating excess heat under the hood, causing the motor to run a little hotter than we wanted. It reached around 210 degrees at times, and it wasn't really that hot out this weekend, so we're kind of concerned once it gets warmer. Our solution here is to louver the hood to let this heat escape. Now you can go out, buy louver press, all this stuff. I did not want to do that. I created my own louver press, or louver punch, I guess we'll call it. And I will show you how to do that here real quick. Show you how to cut this hood. Put these louvers in here, which should eliminate most of your heat, all your heat getting trapped under your hood. This will work for, I know, Jeep Cherokees, Jeep Wranglers, all that are really common with these. You can buy aftermarket hood scoops, cut a big hole in your hood, or you can do it this way, save some money, and give it a little bit more of a cool factor. Now what I did to create this louver punch, first of all, it's just 3/8 plate steel that I had laying around here. I obviously have a burn table here, so I could cut this hole, this shape into here. Now, if you didn't have the burn table or access to all that, you could grind this out. It is, like I said, it's just two pieces welded together. But if you cut this off right here, you could cut this in here with a grinder, with a bandsaw, whatever, and then just tack this piece back on here. Then what I did is, this is just a chunk of 16 gauge flat stock that I had laying around. I welded that up off of here because we are going to, every one of these lines, I am going to cut through this hood with a 4-inch angle grinder, just a cutoff wheel, and this will slide right up through that hole that we cut, just to give us a basis, or a starting point, so we don't have to line it up every time. It makes it so much easier. Okay, so then I got my base plate done. This is just a chunk of, I believe it's 5/8 steel that I found laying around. It is nothing special. I had the shape that I kind of wanted here, and again, you can make this whatever size you want. This is about 3 inches wide, so I made this cutout here 3 1/4 wide to give it a little bit of relief area in there. But all I did is I put this in a vise, and I just ground the shape that I wanted onto here. It's nothing scientific, nothing whatever. It just, I did some trial and error. This seemed to work really good. I rounded the corners quite a bit to give it a nice smooth appearance. It's really simple. I have probably about half an hour into making this punch and die set. To buy these, I don't even know what they cost. They're upwards of $1,000. This was so much easier. A lot of people will do this in a shop press, or just bottle jacks and a big C-frame press or anything. I'm just going to use a block of wood and a hammer here, because I don't feel like breaking this hood apart. The hood's too big to fit in any press that I have here. So I'm going to use a block and a hammer, and it should work out just fine. All right, I'm going to cut this hood. Well, I laid this hood out, I guess we'll start there. I laid the hood out where I wanted all my louvers at. There's going to be quite a few in here just because this is a big hood. It rounds up, it makes it almost into a funnel to funnel the heat right up and trap everything in there. So I laid these out. Again, this is 3 inches wide, so I'm making my cuts 3 1/4 inches wide. You can make them however big your die is, anything like that. But I went every 2 inches down, and then 2 inches across to my next one. So I forget how many there is. There's 7 here. This row here is going to have 12, and then this row will have 17 louvers in it. And then we will repeat that on the other side of the hood, exactly the same, to make it a mirror image. we might add a couple more back in here just to see what it looks like once this is done. But this is going to be our base layout. So now, like I said, I'm going to take a 4-inch grinder. I will cut all these, and then I will, once they're all cut, I'll start the video over and show you where to go from there. Okay, so as you can see, we went through and put all our little cuts. Again, 3¼ inches long for this die. It varies depending on what die you make. Now I'll show you on this side, then we'll have to flip this thing over to actually do it. But what we're gonna do, our die, this is the back side of your die. This is your front side where it radius is up. So this will be your opening on the back side here. So what we're gonna do is take this alignment piece that I put on there and just slide it down through the groove like that. Okay, see, it'll sit right in there, sit flush on there. Now, again, we gotta flip this hood over, but I'm gonna lay this flat on the table. I'll use just some wood blocking or whatever, keep the hood flat. The flatter you can keep everything, the better off you are. Now this works for anything, not just hoods. I mean, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go do some other side panels on some other vehicles that we have. Just let some heat escape. Now I will show you, I guess I should have grabbed this before, but let me grab my trial piece if I can get away from the dog without him tripping me. Okay, now this is my trial piece. I did this to make sure the die was how we wanted. Now it took several tries. As you can see, my first couple attempts split it wide open. I ground a little bit more, it got better, it keeps getting better. And then when I was done, I had a nice even radius. Now these aren't cleaned up or anything at all. Now this one here is one that a trial piece that I did just to make sure it was gonna be good. Ends aren't split. This one worked really well. So that is my final grind on the die here. Now we're going to do it on this. Now this is a little bit heavier steel than what I was using here, so I might have to adjust. So we're just going to take it easy on the first time and make sure we don't split it. Okay, I'm going to flip the hood because I can't do it holding the camera, so I will do that and I will set it up and show you the final product. Okay, so I apologize for the video. I forgot my stand for the camera today, so it's kind of rigged up right now, but we're gonna do this anyway. Now, like I said, you just pick this up, slide your alignment gauge up through your hole or through your slot, center that in your slot, because once again, the slots I made, they're about an 1/8 inch wider than this die is, but they match the I guess the size of the lower die. So when I did this, I made my alignment gauge as wide as this. So now I just hold this flush on both sides like that, and we'll just take a hammer and tap that down in there. Don't have to get too carried away with it. It should lay in there real nice down that die. Okay, and then we can go on to the next one. And now, generally, you would want to clean all this up really nice, your hood really nice, deburr it, everything like that. Now this has all kinds of tar and stuff on the inside. I'm leaving it there because we're going for the patina look, I guess, on the Plymouth. So I'm not going to paint anything here. I'm going to let this stuff rust. I might take a little bit of blue spray paint, just kind of get the real bare metal, but we're just going to let it rust and be natural. So, we're just going to keep going along, doing this the whole way up through all of our cuts, all of our louvers. So just line it up in your center. Make sure the rounded part of your die faces forward. real simple. We'll do one more here, and then I will flip the hood over, show you, I guess, what you can expect, what they should turn out looking like. I guess what mine are going to turn out looking like. You can make your die face them however you want. Whether you want to more squared off, if you want them rounded, however you want to do it. So there we got, I did one before I turned the camera on, but there we got 5 louvers put in this. Flip the hood over, let you see what we have. Now this is from the back side. See how they're up probably a little under ½ an inch, but they're nice, even. Now this is extremely old paint, so it's chipping off, the paint's chipping off, that's not a big deal. So I'll probably just touch it up just a little bit with some blue spray paint, but from the front they don't really stick up a whole lot, but they are going to let a whole lot of air escape from this hood. Said it works good for just about anything, or if you're just looking for the cool hot rod, rat rod, old school look, I guess. But I'm gonna go through, do all the rest of them. I still haven't cut this side. I'm gonna go through, do it all, and then I will show you the hood when it is completely finished. Okay, so we got our hood all finished up, all the louvers put in it. We just bolted it back on, make sure it's what we wanted. It is, as far as I'm concerned, it is good to go. We are gonna maybe touch up the paint just a little bit. Not too crazy with this, but here is the final product. It's hard to see from this side. Let me crawl around the back. Again, this is on my Plymouth that is huge, so it's kind of hard to see, but that is what we accomplished. Nice straight even lines, straight even louvers. Might be hard to see in the video. Like I said, a little bit of touch-up paint here, prevent it from rusting, and it's good to go. Should relieve a whole lot of heat from under the hood of this thing. Can be used in anything, either for heat displacement or just for the cool look.